Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining for another video as another Florida State Seminole has found a home through the undrafted free agent route. And this time this is Tamorrion Terry, who's going to join the Seattle Seahawks receiving crew there. And obviously we know the Seahawks, they've already got their, receivers lined up. This is going to be someone that's going to come in and hopefully make a roster spot. But best case scenario, you have to think about what the Steelers were able to do for so many years when they, got drafted a guy like Antonio Brown, I believe, in the sixth round. And then just guys like, Mike Wallace, every Steeler that basically came through there that was not, like a first round pick, they were able to develop behind some guys that was already pretty good at the position. So the Steelers have been good at doing that historically. So we'll see if the Seahawks can do something like that as well. Obviously, this guy is undrafted, but I mean, he has the potential to develop into more of a outside receiver someday and potentially become a starter in this league. Again, we're talking potential here, but when you sign a guy, especially as an undrafted free agent, that's what you're going off, a guy's potential. What is this glass ceiling, and how can we help him get there? So going back to his time at Florida State, Tamorrion, he redshirted his first year with the Seminoles, but he was able to make an impact once he hit the field. He was a four-star recruit coming out of Georgia. And he was picked for the All ACC pick and Florida State's offensive MVP in 2018 after leading the team in receiving yards and touchdowns, where he had 35 receptions, 744 yards, averaging 21.3 yards a catch and 8 touchdowns in the 12 games, starting 11 of those. And he turned his game up a notch his redshirt sophomore year, garnering a second team all ACC accolades as his team's leading receiver with 60 receptions. And yeah, so he pretty much put in a lot of work there. He led the country by averaging 58 yards and on his 9 touchdown receptions. And so he was pretty explosive down there at Florida State and was out. And it's a little surprised that he did not enter into the 2020 NFL draft. But that being said, he wanted to work on his game at Florida State. And you got to respect the guy who's going to come back, say, hey, I understand, I want to go ahead and continue to develop my game. He worked with Ron Dugans down there at Florida State. And so he was able to utilize that. And obviously he did not go drafted, but that had a lot to do with obviously, there's a lot of things going on at Florida State, especially at the quarterback position. They don't have the quarterbacks that they used to have down there. So we'll see what he's able to do, having a guy like Russell Wilson and then being able to learn by the deep receiving core that they've already got down there. So that being said, he did undergo a surgery on his knee back in October, and he opted out for the rest of the season back in early November. So perhaps that played a role as well for this past season. So, and then you go to what the so-called experts had to say. He was projected to be a sixth-round draft pick. His NFL comparison, according to them, was Marquise Valdez Scalding for the. I'm sorry, I totally messed that one up for the Green Bay Packers there. So they're saying that he has, the target, outside target with an exciting blend of size, tape, speed to open up an offense vertically. So yeah, that's definitely what a lot of teams are looking for when it comes to a receiver. They're saying that the bigger issue is that his pass catching technique is poor, and he drops a couple passes from here to there. But I mean, a lot of the greats, we've seen plenty of guys. Like you think of guys that were good, but they had a lot of drops. Going back to like way back in Terrell Owens, throughout his career, his biggest thing was he dropped quite a few passes. I mean, he made some big catches too. Obviously, you don't become a top three receiver all the time and don't be able to, catch the ball. But, that being said, that was an issue as well. But his upside, definitely is recognized here, and that's why the Seahawks are bringing him in. So just to recap some of his strengths here: big and explosive, holds the school record with 5 touchdowns of 70 plus yards. That goes back to that 58 yards per catch on those touchdown catches that I mentioned earlier. They say that he immediately looks to stock cornerbacks once he's on top and maintains top position down the field. Maintain major second gear to run under the football. So the guy's definitely got that speed and play strength to bully pass, grabby man coverage, which is really big. I mean, because corners from time to time, like plenty of times you'll see fans upset saying, "Oh, he's holding them." But like if you have a receiver that's good at getting away from those little small holes that go unnoticed, that can bode well for a quarterback to be able to identify, okay, I know my receiver's at least going to go up and have a chance to get the ball. So those are some of his strengths. In terms of weaknesses, it goes to like his route running. They're saying that he's pretty limited when it comes to his route tree experience, rushes through his patterns looking to get vertical, loses momentum, getting in and out of breaks, and catching technique needs some significant work. So all these are why he went undrafted. But if you look at that upside, if he can work on his game, there's no reason why 3, 4 years, down the road, why he can't become a starter. So we'll see how this pans out for them. But step first is he's got to definitely make the Seahawks roster. So we'll see how that plays out for him. But I do like this signing for the Seahawks, and we'll see how it works out from there. So thank you again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, as more news continues to drop, you can be sure to find it here. So thanks again for watching and have a great rest of your day.